My abusive ex threatened every man who looked at me until I started dating an MMA fighter. My name is Eliza. I'm 29. 3 years ago, I finally left my ex, Lucas, after a 5-year nightmare I barely survived. Leaving him didn't end the harassment. It only changed its form. Lucas didn't attack me directly anymore. He attacked anyone who showed interest in me, anyone who smiled at me, anyone who dared to exist near me in public. The first incident happened at a bookstore. I was flipping through cookbooks when a man nearby asked if I needed help reaching a shelf. Just a polite, simple offer. 2 hours later, Lucas appeared outside my apartment building, banging on my door. His face twisted with rage. "I saw him talking to you," he shouted. "You think anyone else gets a chance with you?" I called the police. By the time they arrived, Lucas had transformed into a smiling, apologetic version of himself, promising it was all a misunderstanding. The officers left, shrugging, leaving me alone with the echo of his threats. The second incident occurred at a park. A man asked me a casual question about jogging trails. Lucas found him that evening and confronted him outside his apartment. The man was terrified, and Lucas walked away smirking. By the third time, I was barely leaving my apartment, terrified of every man who crossed my path. I tried restraining orders, new locks, even moving neighborhoods once. Nothing helped. Lucas always stayed just out of legal reach. He had alibis, manipulative explanations, and a way of turning reality to his advantage. Then I met Aiden. It was on a rainy Tuesday when my laptop crashed mid-presentation at work. I ran to a nearby tech repair shop, soaked and panicked. Aiden was behind the counter. He was enormous, 6'4", with broad shoulders and hands that could probably crush my laptop if he wanted. His face had the kind of scars that made you think he'd survived a few street fights, and his calm eyes made him look impossibly gentle. "It's okay," he said softly. "We'll get this fixed. You just need a minute to breathe." I hesitated, about to warn him. I wanted to tell him about Lucas, about the danger, about the men who had suffered because of my past. But the laptop was due for repair in 3 hours. I handed it over. "Thank you," I muttered. An hour later, the laptop was repaired, and Aiden refused to charge me for labor. "Just the part," he said, grinning. "You'll survive the day without spending too much. That's my contribution." Something about him made me feel safe, though I couldn't explain why. Maybe it was the way he stood, ready and aware, like someone who could protect without being asked. Or maybe I was just exhausted from years of constant fear. That weekend, I ran into Lucas outside a cafe. Our eyes met and my stomach turned over. But Aiden's presence loomed in my mind. That night, I watched Aiden close up shop and drive away. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel immediate panic. 3 days later, I ran into him again at the grocery store. He was grabbing groceries for himself. He waved, I waved back, heart pounding, and realized I could exist around men without fear. For once, it was safe. We started talking. Dinner followed, movie nights, walks along the river. He didn't push, didn't ask for more than my comfort allowed. Aiden was patient, kind, and surprisingly humorous for someone whose presence alone could intimidate a dozen people. One evening, I told him everything about Lucas, the threats, the harassment, the fear, the years of isolation. I expected him to step back, to vanish like anyone else would. Instead, he said, "That's awful, but I'm not afraid of him, and I want to be with you." It was the first time I felt hope. Months passed. Aiden's world was MMA. He trained every day, fought locally, and dreamed of moving to larger promotions. He invited me to his fights. The first one was nerve-wracking. The violence was intense, the crowd loud, but watching him move with precision, control, and respect for his opponent was mesmerizing. He won that night, dedicating the fight to his mother. Later, in the locker room, he kissed me and said, "I fight with discipline. You've given me a reason to fight for something bigger than myself." For the first time in years, I could smile in public, go for coffee with friends, even laugh at a joke without flinching. Lucas had tried to make my world smaller. Aiden made it vast. He taught me that strength isn't about control. It's about protection, about creating space for someone else to breathe. Then came the call from another woman, Sarah. She'd started dating Lucas recently and had begun seeing patterns she recognized in me. Panic surged in her voice. "He's controlling. He's obsessed. I don't know what to do," she said. I felt a surge of anger and compassion. "Meet me tomorrow. I'll tell you everything. You're not alone in this." At the coffee shop, I shared my story. Sarah's face turned pale. Her hands shook. "He said you were lying, that you ruined him," she whispered. "That's how he manipulates," I said. "He rewrites history to cast himself as the victim." 2 days later, Sarah ended things. Lucas went berserk, yelling, punching walls. But I knew he wouldn't touch her again, not if Aiden was aware. Aiden confronted Lucas once. Lucas tried to threaten him, to act big. Aiden didn't threaten back. He stated the facts, his profession, his abilities, his boundaries. Lucas left, never contacting me again. Through it all, I started therapy again. Dr. Karen Liu specialized in trauma recovery. She didn't make me relive the horrors, but helped me understand them, contextualize them, and most importantly, helped me reclaim my life. She taught me that fear is normal, but that control belongs to me. Slowly, I remembered what it felt like to live freely. I went to the grocery store one afternoon and saw Lucas. Our eyes met. I braced for panic. Instead, he turned, walked away. I laughed loud and full in the frozen food aisle. I felt victorious, not because I was stronger, but because I had support, because I had Aiden, because I had chosen to exist without fear. Our relationship grew. Small disagreements became easy to manage, unlike the controlling, manipulative fights I'd endured before. Aiden taught me that conflict can exist without destruction, that apologies can be genuine, and that love can coexist with independence. 6 months later, we moved in together. Aiden's apartment was tiny above his gym, and my old apartment was filled with memories I wanted to forget. Together, we found a small house on a quiet street with a fenced yard. We painted, unpacked, and laughed while doing it. His training partners helped, teasing us constantly, but also welcoming me as family. Then came the fight that changed everything, Aiden's regional championship. I watched, gripping Jessica's hand as he fought with every ounce of skill and heart he possessed. By the 5th round, he won. I cried in the crowd, feeling pure relief and joy. He smiled, pointing at me, whispering, "We did it." Afterward, he received a contract from a larger promotion. It meant travel, risk, and time apart. I told him to take it. "This is your dream," I said. "You can't hold back now." He smiled, kissed me, and whispered, "But I don't want to do any of it without you." Life continued. Therapy, normal days, grocery runs, friends, laughter. One day, I got a message from another woman, Rachel, being stalked by Lucas. We confronted him together, with Aiden by my side. Lucas left, finally understanding he couldn't intimidate anyone, not us, not Sarah, not Rachel. Legal battles followed, and eventually, restraining orders were served. Lucas's pattern was exposed, and for the first time, real consequences began. And then came the proposal. It was a quiet evening in our hotel before a fight. Aiden pulled a small box from his gym bag. "There's no perfect moment," he said. "There's just us. Will you marry me?" I nodded, unable to speak. We cried together, holding hands, our relief and love spilling over. We're getting married in a small outdoor ceremony at the gym where we first trained together, surrounded by friends and family. We're choosing our life together deliberately, joyfully, freely. Sometimes I still feel a flicker of fear, a memory of the years I spent trapped. But Aiden and I face life together now. He didn't just protect me from Lucas, he helped me reclaim my strength, my voice, my confidence, and my right to happiness. I'm Eliza. I survived. I'm happy. I'm loved. And for the first time in years, I can walk through a store, smile at strangers, and exist without fear. I don't need anyone to rescue me, but I am grateful for the man who chooses every day to stand beside me. We built a life together on trust, patience, and love, and that is something no one can ever take away.